We've made it to the last week of class, really last days of class, and we have just one more assignment left. This assignment, assignment 11, Escaping the University. For this assignment, you're going to be using the same topic that you used for your annotated bibliography and your research paper, which would have been handed in just today, Monday at midnight. But for this assignment, you're going to be able to think about what audience that you want to write to or compose to, I guess is a better word, what audience you want to compose to that needs to hear and know about your topic. So for this assignment, you're going to be writing a proposal on what audience you want to address and how is best to reach those audience. In past semesters, I've had students actually create whatever they propose. We're not going to have time for that, so you're just going to be writing a proposal. In some ways, that frees you up to really think creatively about what the best way to reach your audience might be. So you're going to choose an audience who is either affected or involved in your topic and think about what is the best way to reach that audience. Maybe that is through some kind of social media blast. Maybe that is through a TED Talk. Maybe it's for just a regular PowerPoint presentation that a regular kind of person would do, or a speech. Maybe it's a documentary film. So it's up to you thinking about what is the best way to reach that particular audience. Again, could be thinking about letters to the editor is something that we've had students do before, or writing a letter to a legislator urging them to change some legislation. So the genre choice is yours. I've given you some genres to choose from, and I'll get to those at the end of the assignment. The proposal is going to have 5 different parts that you're going to write about. The first is to talk about who your audience is. I want you to be really detailed about this audience. Think about everything that you can think about of this audience. Who are they? What is their gender? What is their socioeconomic standing? What is their age? What kind of things are they interested in? This will help you think about how best to appeal to them. Then number 2, think about why your audience would be interested in this topic, or if you think they're not interested, why do you think they need to know about this topic? Then you're going to pick one of your genre, pick which genre you think is appeal best to that audience, and think about how or why whatever you pick is going to resonate with that audience. Think why is the genre piece? First, you're going to look at all the different details of the genre piece and then talk about why it's appropriate for your audience. And then I want you to think about what's going to be the design of your genre piece, what's going to be involved in it. So I think the best way to talk about this would be to give you an example. So I don't have an example because I haven't had students do proposals in this way. I had them just do the assignment, but I'll give you an example topic. So last semester I had a student who wrote about the concussion injuries that can happen with professional football players. You know, there was that documentary film that talked all about it and how it's having lasting effects on professional football players. For his genre piece, he decided that the people who needed to know most about this condition were maybe young football players and maybe young football players' parents. So what he imagined happening is maybe some kind of meeting, like at the high school, where there was somebody who gave a talk, that somebody in this case was him, as a former football player, about this issue and how to protect themselves and what can really happen, just to make them aware before maybe they got into playing football in high school. So for this, he would talk about the audience. He would talk about the audience of football players, maybe team players, and their parents. And then he would talk about why this audience would be interested in this topic. Maybe young guys, they're not really interested in this topic, but he felt like they should really know what they're getting into, so he would talk about that. Then he might think about the genre of, talks that you give to high school students. What kind of things maybe appeal to these students? What will they be interested in? What won't they? And then think about how they would receive it, right? So for him, he wasn't thinking about just a PowerPoint or speech. He was thinking this is something that might be given at school, after school. So that's what I mean about how they're going to receive this piece. Will they read it in a newspaper for some things? For this one, it would be an actual speech, and the place it would be given would be probably at school. Now, when he would consider the design and layout of this, You know, he might say, these are the, 5 definite points I want these students to be aware of. You know, how big a problem this is, maybe what they can do about it, any statistics on how it happens, and maybe those are the main points that he wants to make sure to cover in the PowerPoint. Maybe an actual story also might be something you may want to include in the story. And so that would be the design or content of this genre piece. Okay, I hope that gives you an idea about what you're going to do for this assignment. Now, you don't need to design the speech, you don't need to give the speech, you don't need to do the PowerPoint. You're just going to write about what you would do. The proposal will probably be about 3 full pages, a long paragraph for each of the 5 different categories. Make sure you proofread it. It should be free from spelling or grammar mistakes. I have a link here to the full assignment document. Most of the assignment is written out there in Canvas, but what this document has here at the end is some examples of genres. When I had students design them in the past, I had some ideas of genres, things that they could actively do, like making a picto chart here using infographics, and some examples, letters to the editor or letters to legislators, some information on that and some examples, or creating a web page, and I had some examples of that. So that's all on the assignment if you click off Canvas and kind of go to the assignment itself. So I think that's it. I hope this gives you an idea of what the last assignment is about, and good luck.